All right, now I'm pleased to be joined by McKenna Melville as we join her to the College Sports Communicators Academic All-America video. We're now Division I Team Member of the Year. McKenna Melville, how are you doing today?
I am great. I'm excited to be here and happy to be here.
Yeah, well, again, congratulations. I know I told you off of it, but at the same time, this is quite an honor. What does this award mean to you?
It's great. I think it shows that it's so much more than a game that a team is buying into you as, and they're buying into you not only for athletics, but also academics and how big academics are in my life, but how big they can be in so many people's lives.
Yeah, for sure. And expounding on that a little bit, you were just named the first team player in your program's history. As an on the court All American, and now team member of the year and a first team academic All American. I know that's for the past couple years, but what does that, kind of put more on that? What does that mean to you? I mean, you obviously put a lot into both, but the time there's a ton of time on both, right?
I think it just shows how much this program's grown in the last few years, and I think that's super important. Is that we took this program that was a little bit above 500, and we turned it into a winning program. And we can't do that without academics, and we can't do that without volleyball on the court. And I think we had such a good support system, our coaching staff, but then really ourselves. We took an ownership on ourselves that we were going to get better, and then we had a few leaders, myself included, that were like, this is what we're doing and this is how we're doing it. Get on the train or see you later kind of situation. So that was very important. And so many people bought into this culture of a winning culture, not only on the court, but also in the classroom.
Yeah, and you kind of led me to my next question. This is an individual award, but it's a team sport. And I know that's something you probably value a lot, and you just kind of talked about it. But when you get awards like this and some of the academic things, what does it mean to the UCF volleyball program?
Yeah, I think the first thing I do is I always text them. I'm like, I got this, or we got this. And I
Yeah.
think it's super important to recognize your teammates, for starters, and then the amount of support that they get as well, and as amount of high fives or smiles or thank yous that teammates are getting because of an award is super amazing. They don't go unnoticed. I think the first things we always say when we get awards are, hey, thanks, I couldn't have done it without my teammates. And I know that's just a very cliche answer, but it's a very serious answer. They're in the gym every single day with us. They're pushing us in the classroom. Amber Olson was my undergrad. We worked hand in hand in our undergrad, every single class we had together, basically. So pushing each other in that aspect, I think having that great group to push you, not only in the volleyball court or off the volleyball court, but just as a person in general, is really great. And it's great to be recognized for it, and it's great to recognize your teammates for it as well.
Yeah, and I know one thing that that's been told about you a lot is that you made that decision to be at UCF for the academics, for the volleyball program. Why was that decision made? Was it just all that kind of encapsulated that you've been talking about?
Yeah, it was just everything kind of all put together. When COVID hit, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Like, I really love finance. I want to go into the financial world. And then I did an internship and I was like, wait, this is not necessarily something that I am in love with. It wasn't a bad gig. They were great humans, but it's just something that I wasn't passionate about. So that COVID year gave me time to figure out what I wanted to do. UCF blessed me and let me stay for my fifth year. So it helped me grow, figure out what I wanted to do with my school, and then just kind of grow as a person. I think the last 2 years have been the biggest growth that I've made as a leader and as a person. And I don't think we would have gotten that if I didn't have a fifth year. And I really bought into this team from day one. So when they gave me another shot to stay for another year, I didn't really even question it. It was like, yep, gonna stay for another year, gonna keep leading this program as big as we can get it.
Yeah, I'm going to embarrass you a little bit and note what those GPAs are. A 3.94 as a finance major as an undergrad, perfect 4.0 so far in secondary education and your master's. You just kind of alluded to it, but what does the future hold now that secondary education? How does that factor in? What are your next 3 to 5 years look like, or you hope they look like?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm going to be a teacher, high school teacher. So I'm done playing volleyball, which is actually just kind of it's a new chapter for me, and I'm very excited that it's a new chapter for me. But I love coaching. I love teaching. I'm in the classroom right now, and I absolutely love waking up at 6 in the morning and seeing these kids' faces. Some of them are still half asleep in that morning hour, but I love it. And so I'm going to be a teacher. I don't know if I'm going to come back to Minnesota or not yet. I think that's where I'm leaning towards, but then just to be a coach as well. I want to be a high school coach. So just to kind of have all those buckets filled is really important to me. And I'm very excited for my future, which is something that a lot of people I don't think can say that. So I'm excited. I can't wait for the next 5 years to kind of see how that plan unfolds.
Yeah, and finally, staying with that a little bit, the word gets thrown around a lot, but student athlete. Obviously, you being a student athlete means you want to be around students. What does student athlete mean to you?
I think they do a really good job of saying student athlete and not athlete student.
Yeah.
I think that's what we joke around sometimes with, but in the end of the day, you're going to close a volleyball chapter, you're going to close your athletic career, and then you're left with just student. And how are you going to represent yourself as just student? And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned growing up is your brains are going to get you a lot farther than your athletic playing career ever will. And I'm not in it to make a ton of money, but I'm in it to use my brain to find joy. And I think that's super important as I'm finding joy with who I am as a person and not necessarily the athlete that's on the back end of that name.
Yeah, well, you said it well. That's what you are. You're a student athlete, and we congratulate you again. That's McKenna Melville, our academic All-American team member of the year. That's a lot to say, but it's about a true student athlete. Congratulations on a fantastic career, and good luck in your next chapter.
Thank you.